Hey, MGTOWs, this is Vention. Man, I have been sick the last few days. I think I think my problem was, I haven't been sick all winter. And I think my problem is that I neglected going to the tanning booth and getting some of that ultraviolet radiation. And basically I just then I picked up this really nasty cold a few days ago. And man, it kicked my butt pretty hard. I'm weaning myself off the cold medication, so I've got somewhat of a headache. And of course, my voice and everything is still screwed up, but I believe that I will only miss one day of work, which is good. Yeah. Yeah. Garden is still tremendously untaken care of. Amazing how about all I did the last few days was just sleep. Eventually, I'm going to get those friggin' starts put into that hugelkultur bed over there. But today, I think I'll just take it easy. I think I will drag the cot out here into the sun and see if I can get a little bit of sunlight before the clouds cover it. Yeah, I was just noting on on YouTube, more and more these days, I'm seeing something that I really like, and there's a lot of MGTOW red pill content on channels that have very little to do with MGTOW. For example, there's this guy named Matt Wilkie, and he is he was living in the Philippines for a long time, and now he lives in Spain. And he basically is talking, man, the guy's practically a MGTOW, but he's married, but only because he actually managed to get a unicorn in the Philippines, so I don't know. The divorce rate statistics are certainly lower for men with foreign-born brides, but basically it's still not worth the risk for me, of course, especially not at 53. Sheesh, I need to get laid about maybe once every 4 or 5 days. So why on earth should I pay what a young man has to pay for all that? So no thanks. So, but anyway, I was just noticing the way this guy was talking. He was. It's basically he was talking about how how in the West so many women are just screwing over men something fierce that basically men are just opting out and fleeing to to other countries and whatnot. And I find that quite amusing. If I hadn't have hurt my shoulder so bad and it was in such culture shock when I went to Cambodia, I would have loaded Tinder on my phone just for the humor factor and see how different the experience would be over there as opposed to here. I've never used Tinder. I've used other online dating back in the day. Back in maybe my most recent foray into online dating was probably around 2000. Let's see, I quit dating in 2009, and I had a girlfriend for about a year, so probably around 2008 was the last time I've been on online dating. But basically, just for the humor factor, I wanted to see the difference, because here, man, I'm not a millionaire. Well, not quite. and I'm not all that great looking. I'm like 53 and I'm heavy, And so basically, I'm wondering, just for the humor factor, what the difference would be. So, yeah. So that's on my to-do list. Eventually, I will retire, and probably I'm still not sure if I'm going to live here or overseas. I'm just going to have to experiment a little bit more and visit a few more places before I can determine really what I want to do. And I've got to try a lot of things. I'm not just going to buy a few acres in rural Washington and just sort of kick back. I want to really shop around and determine what I want to do. There's also this big dream I had a few years ago about being a wandering mechanic for permaculture communities and permaculture farms. People who are using the technology of permaculture to produce tremendous amounts of food, for very little maintenance. That I could really see how they do it and get a lot of one-on-one instruction. And the way I would pay for that is to just be myself and go around and fix things. Whenever I am around, things get fixed. And that's just my nature, just I enjoy fixing things, so that's what I do. So I could fix tractors and plows and watering systems and solar arrays and all kinds of cars, of course, and all kinds of stuff like that. Good times, So, do I want to be an expat overseas? Man, what would I do to fill my hours? All the hours. I mean, if I was like 80 or something, I could understand. I just want to, watch TV or something. But if I'm still fairly vigorous, which I still have some vigor in me somewhere. Not right now, not today, but I do usually have some vigor. So I think I might go stir crazy in some of these expat situations. What the heck would I do with all my time? So, but basically, I'm going to have to shop around a little bit. But I was observing to this guy Matt Wilkie in his video that I'll link to. I was saying that when women want a lifestyle upgrade and they want to improve their lives, what they do, let's take it for men first. When men want to upgrade their lifestyle, we work hard, we get a better job, we add to our skills, we increase our hours, and we work smarter, work on our resume, and maybe get some kind of side work going, that sort of thing. But women, what they do? You guys know what they do. They look for a guy with more money. And knowing that, and they knowing that is probably the reason why they just don't invest in a relationship the way men do. So it's a real screwed up situation, but it's not my problem anymore. So I am, just to reiterate, I am really happy to see MGTOW content showing up in totally non-MGTOW channels. I see it all the time these days. We're having an effect, guys. The word is getting out, and I'm loving it. That's about all I got for you. Don't get married.